Hey you guys, how are you? I know it's been a while since I've been on. I'm coming in to talk to you about a few things. I know my tongue is red, y'all. I'm drinking some tea, so it's a little red because of the flavoring that I put in it. But anyway, moving right along. This is the Journey of Awakened Empath, and I'm Tanya. I'm coming on to give you a few little check-ins. I've been doing a little energy check. A lot has been going on since 2024 came in. I was speaking to you guys about being around different people during the holidays, and I want to just ask you, how did that go? Comment that below. If you're an empath, or if you're just somebody who's just, you know, like a person that's around people that, let's just say, aren't the nicest to you, and you have to walk on eggshells around them, that can be quite draining to be around them for a certain amount of time and not snap. So one of the things that I want to do today was come on and give you some, you know, first of all, tell you if you failed the test, or if you didn't do as well as you thought you would during the time of the holidays around somebody, cuss somebody out, then I mean, you know, hey, it is what it is. You can move forward and, you know, do it a little different next time. You'll grow, and that gave you a chance to see where you needed growth. I mean, we all go through that. Look, we all go through it. It just gets to be less and less as time goes on, and the more you grow, and the more that you come into yourself, and the more that you meet your higher self, the more that you tap into the divine. And I just want you to know that spiritual hygiene this year is very, very important. It was important anyway, but this year is a little different. Not only do you need protection, you need spiritual weapons. Yep, you heard me right. You need spiritual weapons. Because people talk about protecting yourself, but they never talk about fighting back, because it's frowned upon to fight back. But in my opinion, we're going to have to fight back. And that's why the attack has been so long and so strong, is because those of us who are warriors try to fit in society, you know, and kind of, you know, we have like a religious background. Maybe we were reared there and we thought that it was a place to stay. Not bashing religion. I'm not. But there's sometimes when you have to fight back, and even in religions, most of the time you will see where there was wars, and even in the Bible, God was with people that were in war. He gave them favor in war. He even told them sometimes to go in and kill everybody. In the traditional Bible, while I don't agree with some of the things that's in there, and I don't really necessarily believe that it's all, I'll say, from one particular deity. Some of that stuff sounds like it's from entities, to be honest with you. And I mean, I'm not bashing it, but I'm just saying, there was battles. Life in this realm is a battle. There are some things that we can come across that makes it more comfortable, but the fact that we have other people with their free will roaming around free, and they're not only abusing it, they're misusing it, and they're misusing other people too. So this is why we need spiritual weapons. One of which, let me grab my notes. I keep notes because I will forget something, you know. All right, so if you have crystals, stones, whatever you use for your protection, if you take spiritual baths, whatever it is that you do for your protection, keep doing that, but you might want to up your protection a little bit more. I will be showing you today different things that I use on a daily, you know, like on a daily basis, you know, like salt baths and different things, you know, Epsom salt, sea salt, depending on what you're trying to get rid of. Again, you know, if you need something personal, you need to know something personal about your personal situation, just book a session with me. But otherwise, I'm going to show you the different ones. This particular one is sandalwood soap. Yes, sandalwood soap. I don't know if y'all can see. There's different ones. Sandalwood soap. And I do have sulfur soap too, and olive oil soap, different soaps for different things. not very expensive. This one is olive oil. And I know a lot of Christian people know all about olive oil. We used to call it blessed oil. I was raised in the Church of God in Christ, y'all. So trust me, I know what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about, anointing oil and blessed oil, because they didn't have like the oil in the Bible where they put frankincense and myrrh and different things in it, baby. They just had the bottle of olive oil that the pastor prayed over, and that was law. It was law. And I still have my own version of oils that I add different things to. I add different herbs and things to mine to add the different energies into that. And I also use that before and after baths. And right back here at the nape of my neck, this is where your mouth is. And like most people have a mouth back here in the spirit. Everything you see in the front of your head, there we see this part. What we don't know, or what we are not taught about, is the fact that this is the way we see ourselves because of the realm that we are in. In reality, there's different sides to everything. And some people have multiple sides, just depending on what realm you're in. Well, some of us remember being in other realms, and we travel to those realms, so we need protection, especially when we're asleep. So stones, crystals, black kyanite, black tourmaline. Those are really good for protection and for keeping EMFs away from you too. Like even in the natural, black tourmaline is good for that. Shungite, black onyx, different things like that. Also, I don't want to get too far into it. Magnets and different things help too. The reason we need stones is the same reason we need minerals in our body. These stones are put here for a reason. The Most High does not make any mistakes. Everything has a purpose, and it's usually here. And we use it. It's in every electronic that we have. So I'm not understanding why people think it's evil to carry them. I'm not sure. I don't care what people think, because the cell phone that you're using right now would not be able to use if there were not quartz crystals and different types of crystals. We wouldn't even be able to hold these things. The reason why we're able to be in the same room with certain things that would otherwise be radioactive is because they have stones or some type of crystal inside of it, like working alongside of it. The components are made of different stones. Case in point, I know the older people remember quartz watches. There really was quartz in those watches. I know you know Tommy Copper, like that's a mineral. Like, you know, Tommy Copper has the things that you put on different parts of your body to protect them and keep them from hurting, because copper is good for inflammation and other things. Okay, that's a mineral. All right, we put salt in our food because of the mineral. It tastes good but it's because of the minerals. You know, and we have bath oils and soaps, and everything that we cook with is some type of mineral or some type of herb. Most of that stuff is protective. If you research it, you can use it in different ways other than to cook with. That's all we're doing. We're using it inside and outside. And the difference between us and the people that have marketed it before is our ancestors, and some of us had ancestors that did this long before pharmaceutical companies got a hold of it. So they can call me whatever they want to, witch, warlock, whatever it is. Call me whatever you want. It works. I know it works because I'm a walking proof that it works. So again, black tourmaline, shungite. This is a piece of raw rose quartz, and it's got a little bit of smoky quartz on the side of it, because where it was mined, it had a little bit of both of them in there somehow. I got that from a friend that mined it herself in the mountains in Georgia. Okay, so that one is good for self-love. It's good for love. It's good for your heart chakra. And also, I find that rose quartz is one that is a good thing to keep peace around. I don't know. It's probably because it has love on it. Like, you know, love cures. Love is the answer. Love is the answer. So, also, now this is a weapon. This symbol here, I'm scared to get a tattoo. Well, I'm not going to say scared. I have been a little nervous and a little cautious about it. But if I should ever get a tattoo, this will be what I use. Now, that's the hem of all. Keep in mind, I know a lot of people, say, oh, that stuff ain't going to protect you. Symbols mean a lot. Everything, most of the things that we do is symbolism for something else. Even, sometimes those things really do have a lot of power and it's charged and different things like that. But it also has words on the back. And I noticed that I wasn't the only one that kind of picked up on this. I even noticed that I don't know if it was the same. I kind of glanced and blowed, and I hate to bring it up, but I'm going to. Cat Williams had one on. He also had his head covered. He also had on all black. And I had been doing some of the same things myself as a protector because we need psychic protection right now. There are greater narcissists, toxic people, sick people, all kinds of crazy stuff going on around us, and not just outside of us. We're having to deal with the things that's on the inside, the things that we've allowed to master us or to take over, the things that we have contracts with. So not only do we need to watch out for what's around us, we need to watch what's in us first. Purge that first, because otherwise you're not going to get away from all of the other outside interferences if you won't even deal with the ones on the inside. They're going to continue to keep coming around, and the difference is that you won't have discernment to know what's right and wrong with that thing because you haven't gotten things out of you that's in agreement with this type of person. And it's a hard pill to swallow for some folks because their ego won't allow them to realize that they have issues. They don't want to talk about their issues. They feel like they don't need to talk about it. So that is one weapon right there that will help you inside and outside, is the hem of all. I do have my Trolls cross. I gave my other chain away, so I'm wearing both of these. It ain't to be cute. It's for protection and it's a weapon, so I don't really care if it looks bad or whatever. This is a Trolls cross. I like that too. All these symbols are ancient symbols. I'm sure that most people would put them with some certain set of folks, but like, let's be honest and do the research and find out where everybody, all of us really just came from. We might be all from different places. We might be the same color, not the same kind. We might be the same kind and not the same color. I don't get caught up on any of that. I will say in this realm, me having the color of skin that I have is powerful in certain realms, and it doesn't make me better or worse than anybody else. It just makes me different, and I have a different position, and I have a different responsibility, and I have different functions. It's just like I wouldn't take my shoe and put it on my head no more than I would take my head wrap and put it on my foot. It's not that one is better than the other one. They all have a purpose. It's just that we need to function where we're supposed to be. And that in itself is protection for you psychically. Because if you're out of place and you're not covered, then anything and everything can come in and be very, very intrusive about the way that they come in and just rule over you and take over too, if you allow it. And those of you who have children or spouses or significant others, or you live around family, or you don't have a lot of time for yourself, please be careful to make sure that whatever energy you're feeling is yours. If you're an empath, you know what I'm talking about. Some things are not yours, and you need to separate yourself from what is yours and what you can observe and not absorb. You can even handle things without absorbing it. And if something should happen to get onto you and there's no other way around it, say you hug somebody or something like that, or you pick someone up, or you've been taking care of someone who's ill, or there's been some crazy things going on around you, please make sure you clear your aura. If you don't like sage, if you don't like Florida water, if you don't like any of the things that seem spiritual or you think is witchcraft, then pray, get in your shower, and tell. I ain't saying ask something else, some other deity to take it away from you. No, I'm telling you to tell it, because you have authority in your own mouth, and that's your other weapon, your mouth. Your mouth can work for you or against you. I just had a really, really long talk last night about my mouth because I had some psychic attacks because I had been around too many negative folks too long, and I had absorbed too much of it, and I already had my own issues that I've been purging myself. So I didn't even realize some of that stuff was still there until pressure was on. and some of the pressure was from me and some of it from everywhere else. So if you're handling yourself, and then you that person that everybody calls, the one that everybody thinks doesn't have issues of your own, and not knowing that you've been taking blows before they even showed up on their behalf that they don't even know about, you're one of those people. You know what I'm talking about. Get you some weapons, baby. I'm telling you, you need weapons. I have all kinds of weapons. This ain't just it. I ain't showing everybody my arsenal. I'm just saying, this is some of the stuff that I use on a daily basis, along with the soap. If I feel real like something is really, really heavy, I'm going to take a hot salt bath. And let me tell you the kicker. I'm not only going to take hot salt bath, I'm going to put a hydrogen peroxide or something like that, just a little cap in there, because it gets in and it helps your pores to open up, and it helps to bring things out that you normally wouldn't even know was in there. That's in the spirit and in the natural, to be honest with you. In the natural, it can kill candida on the skin. So like, say you've been having bacterial vaginosis or some type of bacterial problem or a fungus or something like that, peroxide is going to be good for your skin. It's going to eat that stuff away, adds oxygen to it. And so when you got oxygens, you got 2 parts of oxygen in there, you know, like, so it's adding things in there to bring it up. You're not really soaking in something that's just kind of sinking in your skin. This is literally making whatever you put in your water, like your salt and different things, or your herbs or whatever, this is helping it to actually get into your pores and pull out what it needs to pull out. So like, the molecules in that is just made different. I don't want to get too heady. Y'all know I'm a little nerd underneath it also. I want to make sure that you know to charge your, if you're doing something for a weapon, or I like to charge my stuff in the moon sometimes, but I also learn to charge different things in the sun. I did hear one of the master teachers, his name is Brother Yosef. He speaks about a lot of the things that I've been learning about over the years, and I love his videos. I send a lot of other people's videos to people because I don't like recording, but he spoke on this, and it really, I had already been studying about it. I have like a obsidian blade, different things that I have that I keep around, but he always has something to tell you about protection. The Hymn of All you can also find this symbol if you don't want to wear the jewelry, you don't want people knowing about it, you don't want to get a tattoo like I'm thinking about doing. You can also like print it out. You can make the symbol yourself in different parts of your house. You can carry it around in your pocket. People don't have to see what's in your pocket. I keep symbols everywhere. As you can see, this Trolls Cross, if you look at the curtains behind me, you can see that the curtain has a design of different, the same symbolism, but it's just intertwined. I look at things, like sometimes I'm drawn to things and I'm not even sure why I'm drawn to it. I bought those long before I bought this, and I knew that something was special about it because I used to draw this symbol in school all the time, and I just used to draw it, and I had no idea what I was doing. That lets me know that there's somebody looking out for me besides myself, because I really needed a lot of protection, especially during childhood. I had a lot of stuff going on, a lot of hard stuff going on, and I would sit there and doodle on this edge of my paper and draw things, and I didn't know what I was doing. Later on, fast forward, those symbols, I had been drawing them all along, did not know what I was doing, had no idea. So that's what I mean when I say, you know, sometimes you just need to be who you are and not try to be somebody else, and because your gifts are there when you're born. You just have to remember who you are. You're not learning who you are. You're not meeting yourself for the first time. What you're trying to do is remember who you are. Your higher self is who you are. It just got a little different when we go to certain realms. It's a little different, and we forget things. Some people remember, some people don't. And I believe that's the gift in itself, is for people to remember. It's not that all of us have different special powers. No, all of us can do the same thing. Most of us can, like depending on where you're from, like originally. But most of us who are in a body have the potential to do certain things. We just don't know it because we haven't been taught that part of us. And there are people who came here and they remember who they were somewhat, and they knew things without knowing how they knew it, and they just walk in it freely without somebody telling them, oh, you're crazy, that's wrong. Fear will come and block everything that's in you innately and everything in you that's special if you allow it. That's what this year right here is doing. It's a year of reckoning. If you are a person who knows you're not into spirituality, you are a spirit. You live in a body, and you're supposed to be possessing the soul. The soul is where your mind, will, and emotions are. It's also where your ego, superego, and id, and the rest of the different things that I don't even want to go into are. There's certain dimensions in your mind, and you can create your own hell right there. And notice I'm not just pointing to my head. I'm pointing to other places because, to be honest with you, there's so many more places and portals on your body than just your head. You have so many gates on your body and so many portals on your body that needs to be protected, which leads me to my next thing. The reason I mentioned baths, even if you can't submerge in water, you can't sit in water, put a spray bottle with some type of something in your shower, or use some Javon soap or some sandal soap or some sulfur soap. I wouldn't put it on my hoo-ha, ladies. Don't do that. But if it's something, you can use vinegar and you can use peroxide in the water. You can put just a cap full, or maybe maybe a fourth of a cup to maybe, I would say, a quart of water, something like that. I do mine a little stronger than that, but I ain't gonna advise nobody else to do that. Anyway, it can help balance your pH. You're not doing something where you put things inside. You pretty much just, unless you got a yoni egg, we ain't gonna talk about that. But we're putting it in the water. So the gates between your thighs, your root, your sacral area, that needs protecting, because that's how you can also let things in and out of yourself. You got several points, pressure points, where you let things in and out. It can affect every organ in your body. So your other line of protection would be, watch who you sleep with. If you are not celibate, like myself, please be considerate of consider. You don't know what a person is doing. We protect ourselves in the natural with condoms. Condoms do not get rid of spiritual STDs and STIs or none of that stuff. You're not only that, when you're gone, if you have children, especially if you're a female and you have daughters, because every egg you ever carried in your body was in your grandmother, because you were in your mother's ovaries. Same thing with your child. Every egg that your child ever carried, guess what? You carried them too, because every egg she had it while she was still within you. So contrary to popular belief, a lot of females pass on a lot more than people give it credit for, especially to other females. So if you have a daughter, please teach her to be mindful about who she sleeps with, because your banks, your thighs, that controls the currency in your body. Your body is made up of water. Eggs hold energy, be it a natural, like a chicken's egg. Any kind of egg is pure life force energy. And I learned that a long time ago about eggs, because I had, to have some stuff done. I had like an egg that had mutated into a dermoid cyst, a dermoid tumor, or whatever you want to call it. And this is very, very serious, because the negativity that had been spoken over me came to my eggs. That's why you'll hear some people in certain religions, like hoodoo or different types of religions, that do egg cleanses. And back in the day, folk magic, or like old wives' tales, I call it, they used to put eggs, when a person has a baby, they would put an egg in a stocking or something, or some type of cloth, and hang it, because they wanted it to draw out all the negative energy and before it got to, you know, the child or the mother that just had a baby. So that being said, be very careful about who you sleep with. Guys, you too, because even though you're not a woman and you're not a receiver, you are a transmitter. So while you are transmitting whatever it is that you've been doing, you're passing that right on to everybody else. And not only do they have ties to you now, they got ties to everybody you've been sleeping with, or everybody that you've ever had even an emotional tie with. Can be kind of weird, because with men, the pressure points are in a different place. So be very careful about who you have sex with. Your line of protection sometimes is to not, in that area, is to keep your gates protected, keep them guarded, and don't try to prove yourself to anybody. I was at a meeting tonight when somebody said that they were trying, I think it was my supervisor was saying about how sometimes you're so busy trying to prove your loyalty to somebody by having unprotected sex with that person, and all the while you're not the only person that they're having sex with. Or even if they're not having sex with other people now, you don't know how well they take care of their body, or how often they go get checkups, how often they check. The only way to be safe about that is to not do it at all. But if you're going to do it, at the very least, please protect yourself and learn how to clear your aura and clear your energy, retrieve your soul, take your fragments back. Do everything you can when you're done with that. Do everything you can to pull all parts of yourself back to yourself and leave what belongs to that person with them. Because unfortunately, a lot of people get contract things that they pass down from bloodlines just by having sex. And it's not even, and mediocre sex too, but I'm gonna leave that alone. Anyway, so the egg naturally absorbs energy, so you have to be careful about who you let near your eggs, who you let near your gate, at your root, at your sacral area. You have to be careful about that, because those things can get in there, and just like a sperm get in there and create a baby, it get in there and create a baby too. But it ain't gonna be one that you want, and sometimes it can be a natural baby and it be like a karmic child. And then you got to look at the fact that, oh my goodness, all of this just because I wanted to have a few seconds of fun, and it wasn't even all that. And now not only do I have to pay and have to get this away from me, now I got to help my child get it away from them. And trust and believe from experience, that is not something you want to do. You don't want that responsibility, because your child will have their own will, and you only have a certain select amount of time to take whatever that is out of them. And what if it doesn't show up till later? Is it really worth it to be just having sex thinking it's fun? And for men also, every time you climax, every time you release, you lose life force energy. Now women, whether we still have uterus, ovaries, whatever, even if you had surgery, you still have it in the spirit. It's a little different with women, because if you're still in childbearing age, or you still have your menstrual cycle, your blood kind of cleans itself like you clean yourself. The women are self-cleaning ovens, and usually we don't have any problems unless we deal with the wrong guy. And I'm not bashing guys, I'm just saying. And even like the ones of us who are same gender loving people, you still have objects that represent something. You remember how I was talking about the symbolism, how different things symbolize other things, and you would think that it don't hold any power. Well, tell that to whatever your toy is that you're using, because it holds power and energy. And do you know who else they've been using that on, or what else has been going on with that? I mean, I'm just saying it holds energy, y'all. I'm not being funny. I'm just saying, I don't know what guys use. I don't know none of that type of stuff. I don't use any of it. I'm just saying, from what I understand and what I know about objects, it does carry. So I would even suggest, if you have toys, to clean them. If you use those toys with different partners, make sure you sterilize and clean and cleanse them. I would even sage them. I would go that far. Something. You need to do something to clear that thing. So we've gotten to the molecular level of like the baths and things with the hydrogen. So, and we cover the eggs. Okay, yeah, and you can use those use like regular eggs too, like a egg. I like brown eggs, but if you don't have a brown egg, you can use the eggs from the store. You can use whatever, you know, whatever egg you have. We're going to talk about blessing things. You can bless things by putting your anointing oil on it. You can protect things by putting it on there. You can speak a blessing or affirmation over something, or speak the words that you would like to have happen, and imagine that it's already happening. I had this conversation too last night about speaking things and feeling them, and holding that energy of it. I'm big on telling people that. I know I probably said it a million times on here. I was in a place yesterday where I had to have someone to tell me the same thing. Isn't so? Trust me, when I'm giving y'all this information, it's not because I've arrived by any means. It's just that I've been doing this so long and been this person so long, until I understand when there's a shift in the energy. Like right now, in the place that we're in, and where things are, how collectively the energy is going, we need protection and we need weapons. This is why I'm on here tonight. Because there's a lot of psychic attacks that's been going on, a lot of karma taking place for a lot of people, and a lot of exposure going on. Not only is it exposing horrible things, it's exposing things in us that we know we need to go ahead and handle, that we have not handled, things like that. Now I'm going to get real thick into it. Iron. Yep, you heard me right, iron. I know all of y'all seen like where older people used to keep a horseshoe up over their door, or they'll have like railroad stakes somewhere or things like that. But let me tell you, the most important iron that you really want to make sure is balanced is the one in your body. If your minerals are off balance and you are, a people of color, anybody, but especially people of color, vitamins are very good for you. I love vitamins. I take a lot of supplements, and because I know our food is not real nutrient dense right now. But minerals are very important for warding off negative energy. Have you ever noticed how cold people are when their iron is low? Well, this is the thing. It's cold. People say, oh, hell is hot. Yeah, there's a lake of fire in some realm of hell, I'm sure. But the low part of it is I'm not going to call the name of it. But I'm telling you, it's very, very cold. And not only do I know that, I know other leaders and other teachers. Again, look up Brother Yosef. If you about it, like, you know, if you really, really tap in and you really know what's going on, and this is not a fad for you, please go find like people like that really tell you the nitty gritty of it all. They get down in there. They go in places that most people are afraid to go to. So Brother Yosef, I think it's New Life Tools. I hate to, say it out loud, and I don't know exactly what it is, but if you look up Bro Yourself, you'll find it. And I mean, he's very down to earth. I've spoken with him on the phone before, and his energy is great, y'all. And he will teach you some things. But anyway, the iron in your body. Make sure your iron is not low. Make sure your minerals aren't low. Make sure you're not overloading on caffeine and things that strip your energy out. If you're a soda drinker, please be careful with the soda drinking. Even if it doesn't have a lot of caffeine in it, still be careful with sodas because of the sugar and the the carbonated water and different things. I'm not saying it's bad. It's just that if you indulge too much, this is what can happen. And if you already have like low iron, if you have if your hemoglobins are off balance, different things like that, please don't let your iron get too low. Your line of defense is your skin and your body, and how you get sick quicker if your soul has a lot of holes in it. So if you find somebody who's very, very sickly and they're anemic all the time, I'm not saying those people are evil, but entities are attracted to them, and it's easier for them to be psychically attacked by other people, whether it's intentional or not. People can just be jealous. Jealousy is a direct attack on somebody's psyche, whether you say it or not, on a psychic attack. It's direct. That's why it's so important not to be jealous. And if you find yourself being jealous, you need to go deal with the reason why you're jealous of somebody else, because that's one of the main demonic, I call it, things that people just kind of graze over and act like it's normal. Some people even want folks to be jealous of them, and I'm not understanding why. Because why would you want somebody to be evil eyeing you, whether they understand it or not, whether they know what they're doing or not? That's still not good for you or your aura. So what is in you that wants that type of attention? And why are you worried about what ain't shit people doing? Anyway, negative entities they don't like iron. They don't like it. They hate it. They hate iron. They don't like people who are bubbly. And if you'll notice, those of us who are really, really like tapped in, we stay hot. We overheat. I'm sitting here. It's 20 something degrees outside, and I could not wait to leave from around people so that I was cold outside, of course, but inside, or even on days when everybody else is freezing, I'm usually burning up. I have to keep taking my coat on and off because all of my mineral levels, I make sure my mineral levels are up. And on the rare occasion that I do get, ill or have something, contract some type of virus or whatever, it won't stay in me long. It doesn't even do my body like it does most people. So again, make sure your minerals as a whole, but especially your iron. Your iron and your sodium and your potassium are very important, but the sodium and your iron, make sure it's balanced. I didn't say high, I said balanced. All right, so far we got the hem of all, we got bathing in salt, we got bathing in sulfur soap, we got putting peroxide. If we don't have anything else, we can put different herbs, whatever it is that you're dealing with, put it in your bath water. And if you don't have a bathtub, put it in a basin, a bottle, make it so you can spray it, or make it so you can just pour it, put something with a lid on it. But I do recommend you putting it in something that's in your bathroom, because you will forget it. If you leave it in another room, you're gonna forget it. I do. So I had to really just get different bottles. And if you drink, which that's not something I recommend doing a lot of right now, because where there's alcohol and an overindulgence of alcohol, there's already psychic attacks going on. There's going to be a lot of people that's unaliving themselves and unaliving other people because of alcohol. But that being said, keep your alcohol bottles. This was a gin bottle. I got this from my supervisor, a good friend of mine. It's indigo gin, but this is indigo water, and I thought it was really cute to put my indigo water in this bottle because it's the same color as the gin that came in this bottle. But I will tell you, keep this type of thing, because plastic is okay. I'm not real crazy about it because it throws off the hormones sometimes, and we have enough plastic in our shoes and rubber and all kinds of stuff, and it really throws your hormones off. So if you can, get a glass bottle. And the best glass bottles you can have sometimes are those that you get at the liquor store. So if you know somebody who drinks a lot or whatever, go ahead and get some bottles from them. And that way, when you put it in your bathroom, even if it gets say wet or some moisture on it, it's not gonna hurt it, it's not gonna melt, you're not gonna have any problem with things going bad. And I do love these bottles because they're so cute, first of all. Anyway, that's just an idea. If you want to keep something for a long time, and you see how this cork is right here, and I can put it right back in, never have a problem. So I know it sounds magnificent or whatever, but this is a great way to not only recycle and keep this glass from going to waste, but it's cute, and people would never know what it is unless they're nosing around in your altar room or nosing around on your workstation. So yeah, and keep it in your bathroom, keep it under the sink, keep it I keep mine close to my shower and close to my tub, and I make sure that I use it accordingly. And I have my soap savers for my spiritual soaps. Keep your iron up. If you take iron, if you take iron, make sure you have something with vitamin C. Because the acid and the vitamin, you need acid to digest it and for it to work like it's supposed to, and for it to get into your cells, like it's supposed to. Otherwise, iron will come out the way you put it in. It just does not work without some type. So if you don't have vitamin C, just a little bit of orange juice, just a teeny bit of orange juice will help. And if you don't have that, believe it or not, aspirin, one aspirin, and or a baby aspirin or something like that. You can take a baby aspirin with your iron, and it should help. I know that's just a trick that I learned by watching and finding out where aspirin comes from. It comes from, it's natural, honestly. It comes from tree bark. But and I won't go into all of that. Anyway, that's very protective. Very, very, very protective. Baking soda is another one that's good to take baths in. A lot of these entities and things they do not like things that's clean. So please keep your space clean. Meticulously clean your corners. Salt, you can put salt down and let it lay there for a little while, and kind of sweep it away later. If you're having an issue with someone, and this is where we get into the warfare type of stuff. I was just talking about protecting yourself in any event that one come around you got this, like, bam, you ain't got to knock nobody out with it or nothing like that. It's just that they'll kind of share. You'll see a shift in their face. Something, they're not going to want to come around, or they're not going to be able to get the same amount of energy that they've been getting from you because you got protection around you or on you or whatever. I normally don't show this too much, but I guess I will today. This is Tiger's Eye, and this is a different type of opal, but this is beautiful, and it has copper on it. Again, copper. I love copper. Copper is very good for you. And it's wrapped. This is so powerful. It's protective, and it's also good working with your heart chakra. It's good for so many things, and it's good for protection and wisdom. Tiger's Eye is very good for that, and inflammation, different things. Hematite is also good. You can look up stones and crystals or whatever, but I'm just trying to bring out points that most people don't talk about, and I'm sharing other people's information, not because I'm stealing the information, because I'm calling their names, but I'm not the only person that talks about things like this. I do, but I know a lot of people know that I go and I look at other people's things too, because I like to know. I like to know things. I like to learn, and sometimes they know things that I don't know yet. I'm still learning. I'm going to be a lifelong student, because if you know, you can't grow. You know too much, you can't grow too much. So even if I know something about a thing, I'm still going to look and listen to sound teaching. All right, runes. He brought up runes too the other day, and I have some runes. I was using runes to manifest different things, or to read them or different things, but he was talking about how protective that is, so you might want to study runes. And that's one note that I got from him the other day that I am telling you that I took straight from him, because I never really thought of runes for protection or for a weapon. But I've been looking when he said it, and it's true. And I don't know why it didn't dawn on me before, probably because I needed to listen to him. So no matter how much you know, there's other angles to it. Okay, let me make sure I'm not missing anything out. All right, so the other thing would be prayers, powerful prayers. Now, you may not have one set religion. You might not have, the ability to pray like most people would say pray, but prayer is communication. Prayer is not just saying words that sound good. Prayer is your way of communicating with the divine, and communication is both ways. You talk and they talk back. You ask questions, they answer. You answer questions, they might even ask you one to see where your head is sometimes, and you might have to answer that, So you even have you have some people who are very, very good at, I call it prayer warriors. People call them intercessors. They're very empathetic, and they pick up on other people's issues. They can be at home in the middle of the night and pick up on the fact that something is going on with a person and immediately pray for that person. Intercessors, like your grandmother and different people that used to pray for you, that you did when you was gone out of your mind doing stuff that you had no business doing. Some of those people's prayers are why we're sitting here right now. So prayer, and what words you speak. Every word you speak really is a prayer. It's really a spell or something, because that's why we say we spell words. But every word you speak is going out, and it's taking energy with it. And believe it or not, we carry a lot of water on the inside of us. Every time you speak, there's vapors coming out of whatever you have in you. So that's why people tell you, look, hey, if you want to really clean yourself up, breathe in through your nose, because your nose has hair that filters it. and then it be out through your mouth, because your mouth carries bacteria. So mouth breathers sometimes have problems because they're breathing in through the mouth. It's very healthy to breathe in through your nose, out through your mouth, because of the way it's made. Slowly. It's called vagus breathing. And there's a vagus nerve that runs too that resets. So you breathing helps to reset things. It feeds your cells. And when you're talking and when you're praying, breathe. Sometimes you don't need to talk. Sometimes you need to just breathe, maybe hum, maybe cry. The divine understands that better even than our language, because this language really was designed to speak not so nice things over people, keep them stuck. But anyway, we're not going to go there. So if you know another language, if you know Latin, if you know Hebrew, if you don't know it, that's great. Find an anabacoic prayer. Have different, there's a book too that I have that scan books and different things like that. There's even YouTube videos that help you to scan books that have prayers in them. The anabacoic prayer set to frequencies on YouTube. I've been listening to that for years. And I think that's also something I learned in listening to Brother Yosef a few years ago, is about the anabacoic prayer. I really do love this guy, y'all. Like, I've never met him in person, but his spirit is awesome. And that's saying something for me, because that's something that, you know, I really do search things out. And I like to know people for the spirit, not so much the flesh, because the flesh has issues. I don't care what they do in the natural all the time, as so much as their spirit is a certain way. Because if your spirit is right and it's aligned, you're not going to let your flesh go too far over into dark stuff, because you know what is hard for you to come back. So I trust people according to what I see them. I trust people to do what I see them do all the time, not just sometimes. I trust people to be like how they are all the time. So again, be careful what you're watching. Yep, that's another gate. You got eye gate, you got your mouth gate, you got your ear gate, you got your sexual organ, which is a gate. You have your hands, and to be honest with you, some people even have eyes in their hands. So whatever you put your hands on, be careful with that, because you got to remember, some of us, if whatever we touch, we can see. So if you put your hands on it, you can glimpse it. And that's where we're getting off into other stuff. But I'm just telling you, if you're one of those people who's an empath, or you one of those people that is good at energy healing, and you have a gift of healing in your hands, you have healing hands, be very careful about where you put your hands, especially your left one, because you're taking things in. So if somebody try to hug you or shake your hand, you gotta be careful about letting people touch you. I know it's something that you don't want to seem stuck up or whatever, but at this time, with all these psychic attacks going on, be careful. If you're not wearing protection of some sort or a spiritual weapon, and somebody just walk up on you, especially people that you know are energy vampires that always got a problem for every solution you tell them, but they don't never fix nothing, but they always want to bring it back to you, yell them. Make sure that you have some type of protection or some weapon on you, because honestly, whatever goes, if you touch them with your hands and then you're putting your heart space close to their heart space, you're taking in so much stuff. And please don't let it be somebody that's carrying around the big C. While our heart, while we love them and we really want them to be healed or whatever, you don't want things like that transferring to you as an empath or as anybody. You don't want things transferring to your aura and into your field, like different things. You have to keep the hygiene up on it. We take baths hopefully multiple times a day, but most people don't breathe clean air in enough, and they don't meditate enough, and we don't eat well, and we don't purge our spirit, we don't fast, we don't do things that help our spirit. So we walking around and we look all right on the outside, but the inside is tore up. And not the inside of your body so much, the inside of your spirit over here on life support, your soul running rampant, your ego is blocking you from seeing what you're doing, because your soul over here not even having a voice anymore, because your spirit don't have a voice anymore because you've allowed all type of entities to enter through your eyes, your nose, your mouth, your sex organs, your anus, whatever you've been letting come in there. You've been letting things come into your being, and now they've gotten in there and basically came in and taken over. And we know what it's like when people come into your place where you are and take over. We didn't like it when certain groups of people, races or whatever, we know what it's like. We're still coming out of the trauma that put on you when something or somebody else is trying to rule over what's not supposed to be ruled over by another person. They're capitalizing off of you. They're using you and using your life force energy to walk around on. Do you really want that in you? It's the spiritual parasites. Why would you want that in you? Now, I will give you this. I don't want to go too far. I'm going to tell you, whoever's on here is who's supposed to be on here. Whoever's listening is supposed to be listening. If this is not for you, just click off. Don't be in the comments being all negative, because I will block you, because I don't really care what you think and I don't really care what you say. I'm here to help people. So if a person wants to be covered and they want to be helped, I'm here for it. But this is not the year that I'm going to be trying to convince and drag nobody to do nothing. I'm on here for free. I don't even have enough subscribers for me to be getting paid right now. So I'm on here in the middle of the night in the cold. It's cold outside. I mean, I'm good, but it's cool. I want to be up in my bed, up under my comforter, but I love people, and I know I'm supposed to be telling people about these psychic attacks that's going on right now. Anything that can trigger you is trying to, because the blessing is also coming this year. Karma is not all bad. Karma is not bad. People make karma bad. We make karma bad by what we do and how we conduct ourselves. So if we don't want that, then plant something else. We're just walking around ground. We're ground. You can plant something anywhere anywhere. You can plant it in your spirit. You can plant it in your mind. You can plant it somewhere. Wherever you plant it in your being, sooner or later it'll spread to the other parts of it. So plant. Another line of protection. Plants, y'all. I think people know it because we eat plants, and vegetarian or vegan people or whatever, they eat plants because plants are alive. I don't know why they think, oh, we shouldn't kill animals. Well, you're killing the plant when you pick it. It's not that, there's a difference, but, everything, they have life too. And that's why we like to eat plants. But they also, like a potted plant, a tree or whatever, ground yourself near a tree, walk barefoot outside if it's warm enough. If not, have a potted plant in your house. Put your hands in the dirt, tend to that plant, and the plant will take things naturally and spiritually. They clean the air, but they take things from you that you don't need in you, and they transmute that energy. Now, I do know people that say, oh, every time I get a plant that I kill it, I don't know how to care for it, but they also don't know how to care for their bodies. So if you know that you study the plant like you would your own body, you need to study your own body and then study that plant and study what makes it work. The reason why some people, even though they might care for the plant correctly, the plant dies because their aura is so nasty and dirty, and they're worried about putting tap water in the plant. Baby, worry about putting some water in yourself and clear yourself out. Make sure that you purge yourself, because the plant is dying for you literally when you're around them with the negative energy on. So I try to keep my house and my space pure, or cleansed. I do a lot of different types of work in here, so I have to make sure I clear things out. I'm not a spotless person, but I try to keep things tidy. I didn't say expensive. I didn't say flashy. I ain't trying to impress nobody, but at least it's going to be clean. Mop your floors. This is a good time to mop your floors. Mop from the back of the house. The back left side is pretty good to start, and then mop your way to the back side of your house. You can use ammonia for that, just a little cap ammonia. If you don't have ammonia, then use whatever it is that you use and just pray. Put things out. Put a little salt in that water, and that salt will absorb whatever negativity is in there, and then you can throw it out. I recommend transmuting the energy into power. Every time, like if it's something that you know how to do, transmute it. If not, sweep it out. Let it sit there for a little while, sweep it out, mop, and then mop it. If you want to just put it in your mop water, do that. But you can just put salt down, sweep it up, vacuum it up. Just make sure you throw that vacuum bag away. And make sure you put that salt outside. Do not leave it in your inside garbage can. I would not. I would immediately take that trash out and preferably take it to your outside garbage can and just put it in there. And as quickly and expeditiously as possible, take that garbage can to wherever the garbage, can go, where people can pick it up and put it out. Which is why I recommend a lot of, if you can, just do it on the day before your trash person is coming. But if it's an emergency and you need to go ahead and do it, please protect your space. Especially, we're in 2024 and it's January 19th. This is a really, 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 really time for, like, it's a hard time for a lot of people right now. But whenever you see this message is when you're supposed to see it. But I am saying to you, make sure, because the psychic attacks are going and going. And there's going to be a lot of people that everybody thought was so nice and so sweet and so humble and whatever. And they probably are, but they tired too. And so everybody that they've been walking on eggshells around going to get it. Everybody can get it this year. The nicest people probably going to be the main ones to snap on somebody. And you know what? They don't even suspect what these people gonna say, because they've been collecting, collecting information for years. They've been putting up with the shit for years. They've been dealing with this stuff, and now they tired. And baby, let me tell you, it's gonna be a force to be reckoned with, and rightly so. We need to fight back, because these people ain't had no problem attacking us for no reason, and especially the people that we came to come and help. And then they got the nerve to be jealous. They got the nerve to devalue you. They got the nerve to look over you. Good, look over me. I'm glad you looking over me, because humility is my secret weapon. I like to be hidden in plain sight. I like for you to look over me, because all you're going to do is misuse me anyway, because you don't know how to appreciate the very people that are gunning for you. So we're going in here we in certain places, not really just so much we're not going in starting things with people, but we're going in and making sure that we finish things. And all of us don't have to get our hands dirty to finish stuff. Just trust and believe it's going to be taken care of. And I'm not saying to go pick a fight with nobody. I'm not saying you got to go say anything to anybody. But if somebody comes up to you, you don't have to be rude to defend yourself. You don't even have to defend yourself. You just say what you're going to say and mean what you're going to say and do what you say you're going to do. You don't even have to really even respond at all, because that's saying volumes right there. That's a real kiss my ass right there. When somebody's actively trying to fuss, argue, whatever, let them fuss by themselves. If they ain't put their hands on you, leave this situation if you can. But if not, let them fuss by themselves. Let the fools sit up and fuss by themselves. Some people thrive on in the middle of chaos, so they gotta keep some mess going all the time. They don't never have good news about anything. And when you're surrounded with those people all the time, you need to protect yourself. But there will be times when you have to fight back, and this is a way to fight back. Having your symbols, and blocking things off your mind, covering your head when you're around certain people. I know it sounds crazy. I'm on here tonight and I have my head covered for when my hair needs to be done, but for the most part, I'm covering my head because of these psychic attacks that's going around right now. And it's not to be fearful or anything like that. It's just that it happens all the time. It's just that most people don't talk about it. Most people don't talk about the different things. And if you're all right and then all of a sudden here comes somebody with this darn negative energy, and then you feel sick. If you were in a store, you was fine when you went in there, you came out and now you feel heavy. Sometimes you can't help what you get, but you can't help not treating it. That be a physical disease or anything or otherwise. You might not be able to help things that was passed to you. You might not have done it on your own even. Somebody might have brought you something. Like the people that I was saying about trying to be loyal to people. Protect yourself. Use a condom and close your energy off. If anything, make sure that you're not taking in some type of negativity, because you can be messing up your finances and everything just by sleeping with the wrong person. So you need to protect that, because also psychic attacks also attack your finances sometimes. It will attack your finances because that's the closest thing to making you miserable in this realm, because we all need some type of money or favor or whatever in order to be able to make ends, to do what we have to do. So to be prosperous and to be abundant in the area of finances, we have to protect ourselves, and we have to protect our finances, and not just from everybody else, but from us too. You have to be mindful of the way that money is and what your relationship is with it, because no matter how bad somebody else is treating you, you got to realize how you're treating yourself. Self-care, getting your nails done, getting a facial, or going to take yourself to go buy an item or buy something that you like, that's great, that's dandy, that can be part of self-care. But the real self-care is noticing the bullshit that's inside of you that needs to go because it's ruining your life, and dealing with it, and noticing the bad eating habits that you have, and knowing what it's doing to your body, and you continue to do it. That's not right. That's something that you need to go ahead and deal with. Instead of looking at what somebody else might be doing to you and sending towards you, look at what you're doing to open yourself up to it. And I'm not preaching to y'all. I'm telling you what I've done. I mean, there's certain things that I'm not really supposed to be eating, and things that I shouldn't ingest, things that I know I'm supposed to be doing, and I'll be done ran so much for everybody else, so I'm so tired. I'm like, oh, I'll do it later. There is no later, do it later. If you are a person that thinks that you have ample amount of time to do certain things, you're going to be messed up. So procrastination, you let procrastination kill your nation, like literally. If you're a person that don't like dealing with your issues, you like to stuff them down, this is not the channel for you, because I'm going to bring it up. And you probably might be very much triggered, and it'll be okay with me, because sometimes people need to be triggered. And you have some people that don't understand things if you're saying it to them real nice and humble and low and yeah, that's fine. And I'm usually that person. But at this point, I'm telling you, hey, get up off it. Get up off it. I'm just saying, if you really are into like getting yourself back to your original self, and remembering your higher self, and remembering who you are and what you're supposed to be doing, and what you can do, what your abilities are, what your powers are. If you want to really do that, you're going to have to tame this flesh, because the flesh will self-destruct. If you don't have some type of boundary and structure on it, it's going to do whatever the hell it wants to, and you're going to pay for it, because you're the spirit living in there. And you're going to pay for it, because this body will decompose while you walking around, and then eventually it's going to die, and it might die young because of what you chose to do. Then you're illegal here in this place, because you're a spirit floating around here trying not to go into where you're supposed to be going, or you get sent somewhere else to another realm that you don't really want to be in. Case in point, bottom line is you need your body. So if you don't have a proper relationship with your body, if you don't have a proper relationship with your soul, your mind, it can go anywhere. It can move anywhere, and wherever it goes, trust and believe. Wherever your mind goes, too often your body will follow, and your spirit has no other choice but to be somewhere on life support, just waiting on you to say, hey, what's in my spirit? Excuse me, y'all. What is blocking me from seeing? Why am I having to ask other people to help me see? Because we all can do it. We just have to go ahead and have a talk with with our higher self, or with the divine, and our angels and ancestors and different things. We have to have a talk. And not just one of those talks where they're congratulating you and they're so proud and I'm not saying they're going to be that you need to abuse yourself and be down on yourself, because I'm very much one who I have when it gets down to spiritual things, if there is nothing else in this world that I know I can know that I do well, or that I am, and it ain't just something I do, is who I am, is spirit. In this realm, I mean, on some other stuff, some other places, because unfortunately, people don't know this, but spirit only goes to certain dimensions. But honestly, there's other parts of us, but there's a part of me that knows that I know. And I might not be good at a lot of other things, but I'm very good at that. So I'm very confident in it. And I know what I'm telling y'all is true. I know it because I lived through it. And I went and made so many mistakes, and so many things happened to me, that I would prefer my experience be a gift to you. I have the gift of discernment. I have the gift of prophecy. I have the gift of whatever you want to call it, psychic abilities. I have all the clairs that you want to name. I smell things, hear things, see things. Usually if I tell you something and I know the Spirit said it, then you can put your money on it. I'm not talking about what Tanya feels. I'm telling you what Spirit is saying. So again, if you don't have a good line of communication with your Spirit, that needs to be your star player, needs to be your first line of defense. You have to start doing that. One of the things that you can do quite simply is to cleanse. If you're not around anybody, is cry. If you feel like you need to cry, cry got salt in it and everything. You got a built-in spiritual bath. The Most High knew what it was doing. Things will flush out of your eyes. There's a reason why people are supposed to cry. If you'll notice, people cry when they're happy. They cry when they're sad. Crying is not a bad thing. I ain't gonna say you need to be emotionally imbalanced. You need to be not only emotionally balanced, you need to be emotionally stable. Because you have to be stable before you can even balance. You have to, because some people think that being emotionally that they say, oh, they're so emotionally unavailable. No, they're available. They're just emotionally immature, because when they mad, you know it. So yeah, you're available to be mad. You're available to be angry. You're available to be scared. You're available to be all this other stuff, but you're not available to display love. You're not available to display affection. So that makes you negative. You got all the negative stuff. You're toxic because you know all the negative things about emotions. Emotions are not bad. It's energy in motion. You just got to tell your emotions where you're directing them to. What words are you saying? How are you giving it energy? Your breath got moisture in it. It's got water in it too. It's got vapors in it. So what are you saying? You're breathing. Take your breath. Breathe in slow. I like to count to 7, and then breathe in through my nose. In through my nose and out through my mouth. So it will look like this. Excuse me, y'all. Oh, that's hot. Case in point, you see, excuse me, I'm glad that happened. When I'm purging, or when I'm doing those breaths, I'm thinking in my head of things that I would like to release, or my body will be thinking about things that it needs to release. Even in my subconscious, my will is to release things that no longer serve or things that are harmful, and to balance my body. Sometimes your throat, your nose, your head space or whatever, you see how the tears, sometimes my eyes just run for no reason, and I know it's cleansing me in some way. So when you're releasing, things like that might happen. You might cough, you might burp. I'm just saying. You might cry. You might have ringing in your ears might itch. Your throat might itch. You might start having palpitations. Your heart might move a little faster or a little slower. But if you keep doing it, if you do it in certain counts, if you can possibly stick your tongue to the roof of your mouth when you're meditating or when you're praying or different things, it does help you to stay focused on your breath. It really does. When you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, be very mindful of where your tongue is. I don't have any Kleenex on my desk. But yeah, so always keep something to drink. Water. Charge your water. Pray over your water. Talk to your water. Tell it what you want. I know people that even write on outside of the glass bottle what it is that they want or whatever it is that they're affirming. or whatever it is that they want washed out. They write it on eggs. They will write it on whatever. Some people write it on the egg, crack the egg, or either they write it on the egg and they dispose of that egg, or if you're doing something to bless yourself, you would take that egg and eat it. Actually, you crack it and eat it, you know, or boil it and eat it. I boil mine most of the time because I don't like the idea of scrambling it up. I just kind of would, you know, I kind of want it to be whole, to be honest with you, but that's just me. So if I do it like over medium or something like that, but it's okay if you scramble it. It's not going to lose any of the power. That's just me being Tanya. Anyway, and thinking things. So I think we covered it all. Just be mindful of where you're spending your money and different things at too. Be careful about where you put your feet. Cleanse your shoes a lot. Sage your shoes, sage your car. If you don't have sage, get some Florida water or something. If nothing else, get some lemon juice or something like that. Lemons are very powerful. Salt water, things like that, you know, something to cleanse and clear things out with it. And if you don't have anything else, just do what you normally would do, but just make sure that you pray in there. Put a blessing in there. When you clear things out, put a blessing in there. If you take things out of your body or whatever, like right now I just did that breath. I took in some breath just like I let some out. Every time I let some out, I had to take something else back in. Now, I might breathe out the bad and breathe in the new. I like to have incense burning when I'm doing things like that so that I can immediately breathe in. I also like to crack a window or door after the, you know, while I'm doing it or after the fact so that things can have a place to release and go to, keep it flowing. One other thing I want to tell you is water. You can drink it. We're made of it, different things. The water. Make sure that if you are having someone who is very toxic or they don't, whether they know it or not, please stop eating when these people cook. Whether they put something in the food or not, physically their intentions are on it and they're cooking it with thieves. So if you have somebody who has the gift of, or they're made with hands here, but they got a negative aura and they're not healed and they don't even know what that is, they carrying around a lot of stuff in their hands and you letting them prepare your food. This is why I don't like to go out and eat a whole lot. And when I do, I'm very conscious about what I put in my body, and I go home and cleanse. Most of the time I go take some vinegar or something, or I take a little bit of salt and put it under my tongue or something like that when I'm there or when I eat it. Just being honest. Make sure you're taking care of that. And I'm trying to make sure I'm not missing anything. It's not like I'm going to not come back on here, y'all. I know I don't record a lot. I'm trying to get me some equipment so things a little more professional and set up me a decent background because, I mean, you know, hey, this is my little home office and my little meditation spot, you know, and my little cot that I got right there. Be very careful about who you allow in your space around you and in your environment because, you know, it either one way or the other, either it's going to draw them in or draw you out or drive them away. It's going to draw you or drive you is what I'm trying to say. So whatever they're doing might draw you in. Whatever you're doing might influence them, but usually what they're doing is fun and it's easy to do things that you shouldn't be doing. What we do takes a lot of discipline. So most people are not trying to gravitate toward that unless they had like a near-death experience or something really bad that happened to them or something that happened to, even then, sometimes people are so hard-headed and they don't want to change. So it's the route to the choosing the high road takes a lot of discipline. It takes self-discipline within yourself to govern yourself, you know, correctly. And you can't think that you being around people that have no discipline whatsoever and they're doing things that's fun and not eventually you might have a bad day and think, well, let me just go ahead and do it this one time. Let me go ahead and participate this one time or whatever. But see, the difference is you know better and you're held accountable for what you know. So not only are you endangering yourself, you're endangering that other person. Because what if your karma hit your ass right there while you being disobedient and they catch your karma? It's not always everybody else, y'all. Some of these people are ignorant to the facts that we know. and they don't know this walk, and we're not trying to drag them to know it. But just like we need to protect ourselves from them, we need to protect them from us when we're out of order. Stay at home. And if you can't stay at home, shut your mouth. Let people know, look, hey, I'm going through a little something today. I'm going through some stuff. Stay away from people and until you get yourself right. And the first thing that you can do is get into an attitude of gratitude, because no matter how bad things look, you're still here and you have a chance to get things better, and everything changes. So if you're going through a rough time, it's going to change. The ebb and flow is going to happen. The tide's going to come in and they're going to go out. Your ship's going to come in. They're going to go out. You need to surround yourself with people that understand that. And y'all take care of each other. I don't understand people that are trying to make themselves stay around some feeling sorry for people who have brought nothing but grief and drama to their lives. Even if you get in a tight spot, they ain't even around to help out. They're here to still take from you. So you haven't surrounded yourself around anybody who's protective of you. You're not. And then those of us who are protective of other people, have we surrounded ourselves with people that are protective of us? That's been my biggest thing. I could be so overly protective of everybody else, but then when it's my turn or when I need something, I don't get that same treatment, not the treatment I give out. So be very careful of who you spend that time and attention on, because you can be a big giver or you can be a big sharer. I'm coming to the point where I'm basically wanting to be a big sharer, because you're going to be a sharer whether you want to or not. Whoever's next to you, you're sharing space. So you need to be mindful about who that is, because one bad apple can ruin the whole bunch. If you sit there with it long enough, it's going to rot you too. I'm just being honest. I've been rotten before. That's what I be purging so much now, because I try to make sure that I'm getting epigenetics, genetics, and all type of stuff that I did myself not even understanding. I'm trying to get all of that out of me. I don't have no time to be looking at somebody else's paper and being real judgmental about what they're doing. I care, but I don't care. The only reason I'm even bringing it up on here is because we have to live around other people, and we need to know how to protect ourselves, and we need to know how to, do warfare. So learning how to pray in other languages would be one of them. If you don't speak in tongues, if you don't know your native voice, if you don't know your native sound, if you don't know your native language, crying, dancing, different things, prayers are different ways. And warfare is different ways. I got certain things that I'm doing when I'm doing warfare, especially when I'm doing an exorcism or something like that. There's certain things, movements, everything that you're doing that you're literally, that's you warring. So you might even see me going around, and I know it's gonna sound loud, but I'm not even talking when I'm doing it. I'm just, trust me, those spirits that's in there, those entities, they know what in the hell is up when I'm doing that. They know what's going up, they know what's going down, and it ain't me. You're breaking up energy. You're shifting energy. They don't like it. These are, we call them our strings, 10 strings. You can give praise to people or deities, whatever. You can give praise. But it also breaks up things. Impact. It's like slapping them. Be very careful about it. If some stagnant energy is in your house and you know what's up, go in that place, either ring a bell. My bell is in the other room. This is gonna be loud. This is for your heart space. Y'all hear how mine is open and balanced? Entities don't like that. There's a frequency. So your voice, people that can sing, there's different people, different frequencies, different whatever, but there's certain things that you can do to instantly raise your vibration. Gratitude is one, love is one, just caring, period. Like just caring about yourself and other people, not being a doormat, and not letting people use you, but being caring. That can also raise your vibration, because it helps you to see things past yourself. Most of all, this is my armor. The truth is my weapon sometimes, but humility is like my armor. And it's not because I think of myself as less than. It's because I know who I am, and I don't need to prove it to anybody. Those who recognize it are supposed to. Those who reject it, that's good, because they would have misused it anyway. They would totally misuse it anyway. Some of them already see something that's different about you, and they like that about you. They won't ever let you know it, but they like being around you because it makes them feel better. Even if they hate you, your aura makes them feel better. Protect it. Protect it. And I know it sounds like I've been all over the place, and this doesn't sound like regular warfare, but I will tell you this: naturally and in the spirit, get you a weapon. I got a gun too. I got a gun, I got crystals, I got stones, I got supplements, I got minerals, I have vitamins, I got everything I can. I got head wraps. I walk, I exercise, I do squats, I lost weight. I don't put things in my mouth because I know different entities can even ride on certain substances, and everybody talk about drugs and whatever, but you know what? Eating a lot of sugar, you might as well go ahead and smoke your rock, baby, because those deities love that, and they travel more commonly on that than they do the drug. That's why the drug addicts can get along better than the people that's supposed to be sober. They take care of each other. Honestly, most of them take care of each other. What we doing? And we supposed to be so spiritual. I'm just saying. Anyway, let me get off my soapbox. But I know it sounds like we've been around over a lot of stuff, but I know that, it's weird talking to this camera. First of all, there's nobody in here. If I was teaching a class or teaching somebody, it would be different. I will ask those of you that are, I am looking for somebody to help me with this type of thing, help me, with technical things. I'm looking for somebody to help build a website. I have a website, but I need to get it in order, proper working order. So I've been working on it. I'm taking some courses. You all need to support. I ain't gonna say you have to, but when you support, what I do with the support that you all give me is I make sure that I buy different things that help forward the spiritual business. I take care of, what the supplies and different things. Now what I'm doing is putting things that I need in order. I'm going to create a wish list. I know I see a lot of people that are content creators that they have wish lists at the bottom, like maybe Amazon or somewhere. So that way I can get more equipment, and we'll have different materials that we can teach on. I want to create courses, because we can get our energy read. I read cards, I do readings. I don't really need the cards, but I use them every now and then, I use them. And I'm gonna set up courses for different things so that when people release things out of the aura, or when they have things that are clean, they learn what to put back in themselves and how to build from the ground up, rebuild your soul, so that you don't have that type of imbalanced ego in there blocking you from your spirit, whereas you can be in this realm and operate safely here but still be tapped into your spirit too, and that you will know what is what and how to conduct yourself and how to make this stuff run seamlessly without any hiccups. And if you do have a hiccup, you know immediately how to go back in there and align that thing. So just letting y'all know, there's some new things up and coming. I gotta start somewhere, so that's what I'm doing. And you gotta start somewhere. None of us have all the answers, but let's share the ones that we do have, and that's love. That's love. I think that's about it for today. I'm a little tired, you guys. I need to go and wash my face, brush my teeth, and go and take my little shower and my spiritual bath and all of that and go to sleep. I suggest you all do the same. If it's not nighttime and you're not watching this in 2024, be blessed. If you are watching this now, I'm sending this to a few people, but if you're doing this, if you're watching this within the next couple of days, make sure you take your spiritual bath. Make sure that you're not into these triggered conversations. If something gets heated, leave it alone, walk away, live to fight another day if you must, whatever. If you can at all avoid that energy, please do. You can deal with it other ways than that. But please, y'all, start ordering some. There's the Eye of Ra too for protection symbols too. I forgot about that one. And some people wear a cross. I ain't real big on crosses, but they work like regular cross, like that cross. Now, Ankhs I am into. I love unks. Unks are very powerful. They're very, very powerful. I have unk bracelet. Evil eye protection. I have an evil eye ring bracelets. This is hematite, tiger's eye, and black. That's obsidian. Also exercise, you all. That helps you to perspire. When you perspire, sweat comes out of your body. It's also a cleansing agent. So when you're moving around, you're cleaning your blood and you're helping your lymphatic system, which, you know, to move around. Jumping, jump rope, rebounding, all of that helps. It helps with your face too. You know, to lift your face. I mean, it does a lot. So make sure you're moving around, you're cleaning your blood, you're doing different things, you're taking things that help your blood to cleanse, you're drinking your water, you're getting some vegetables in, you're doing your balancing work. This is a full-time job. It's a full-time job, and it's a privilege and an honor, and we should be grateful, and it's a way of showing yourself love and displaying love to other people. That way you don't draw in as many people that don't love you because you don't love yourself. I'm still dealing with that one now. I find things all the time that I'm like, oh man, I love myself. I thought I did, but then look what I was able to do to myself. So yeah, cover all your bases, guys. That's all I'm saying. A little bit is better than nothing. Take baby steps. I know that sounded like a lot, but you don't have to do all of it. Just make sure you're doing something. If you're not, and if you don't have anything else, you got your tears and you got breath in your body. Breathe in through your nose, slowly, count to however high you can. I say 5 or 7, and then blow out really, really slowly. Lean down if you can to push all the air out of your diaphragm, and then come back up. Breathe in through your nose again until you feel things shift. The oxygen is going to be feeding your cells while you're doing this. Focus on whatever it is that you want to release. Release it. Then focus and see and feel what you want to bring in and receive it. Right then, whether you tangibly have it or not, receive it. Don't have any attachments to how everything's going to get done. That'll lead to frustration. Trust me, I was there not many hours ago. And that just goes to show you I'm seasoned in this thing. And every now and then I'm going to have a day where it's like, screw it. Screw it. I'm tired. And that's when I know I really need to go get a laugh in. So, and I felt like I needed to share it, because when I go through things, that means that I'm carrying things for myself, but I'm also carrying things for other people. And I know if I'm going through it and I'm catching it, I can't imagine what people who don't know what to do or what's really going on, they have no idea. And it touches my heart to even, it makes my spirit a little heavy that we don't know, and I have to lift that heaviness off of me. Sometimes I'll be looking real crazy because I love people. I am love, and that really makes me heavy because I'm just love walking around. I'm like karma and love walking around. But this year I got a little tinge of judgment getting ready. The dark side is coming out, and dark ain't always bad. For me, it's not always bad, but you better believe it's going to be just. I'm not going to do things to people that I wouldn't want somebody to do to me if I was harming them. That's all I'm just going to say about it. I suggest if a person got any ill will toward a person or evil eye toward a person, or if you find yourself feeling jealous, you better go handle yourself, especially if I'm one of those people. Yep, I said it just like that, especially if I am one of those people. I'm just saying. Because whatever you get, it's going to be something sent back. And I don't have to get my hands dirty. I really don't. I don't even have to do anything. We got guides, ancestors, angels, or whatever. But I got my own mouth and my own words. And trust me, my mouth can hurt you way worse than any weapon I have. Just like your mouth hurt me by you being jealous or running your mouth. We got to be really careful about what we're saying about people. I'm getting better with that myself, because we got to be really careful. If that person has not done anything, you're using your mouth as a weapon. Your mouth is one of the most powerful weapons you have. That's the one I was talking about the breathing. Your mouth. Watch what comes out. Watch what goes in. Watch what you're looking at. and watch what you're seeing. Yep, there's a difference. You can go from looking to seeing and seeing to looking. Just like you can listen and not hear, and you can hear and not listen. You can comprehend with both. Just saying. There's different ways that you can do it. Be careful about how you're doing it, because jealousy, envy, strife, anger, envy, all of that stuff, if you are looking at somebody and being like that with it, you're sending an attack to that person, whether you realize it or not. You're sending an attack to them. So when they spin that thing and bleed the block and bring it back to you and send it back to you, it's not going to come to you like you went out. It's going to come back to your ass multiplied. And let's just hope you got a whole lot more good in you. That's what my prayer was. Oh gosh, because I haven't said some stuff, especially if somebody made me mad and did something to somebody that I know was innocent. Oh, I probably said ain't no telling what the hell I've said. So I went back and I do a lot of snatching things back out of the atmosphere, speaking of blessing, at least toward the person that I said it to, unless they've done something, where it's. That's what I mean. People say, oh, the two rights don't make a wrong. Where don't the scales balance it when you put something that weigh on both sides? Where? I ain't saying you got to speak a curse over somebody just because you don't like them, because you ain't got to like a person not to speak negatively over them, or you don't have to like a person. You don't have to speak a curse over them. I don't care if people don't like me. Yeah, I don't like everybody, but I love them. So I try to send love toward people that need it. Or that I feel like needed. You know what I mean? I send that back multiplied too. That's why people that host me get blessings, and they get big blessings, because I make sure that I send them back what they give me, and I send it back to them 1,000-fold, just like I send that other stuff back 1,000-fold or more. So be very mindful about what you're saying about people, and you don't know who's saying things about you, so you have to be careful, because the mouth is powerful. Be careful. Shield yourself. I'm going to get off my soapbox, y'all. I love y'all. I know I said I was going a while ago, but sending love and light to those who I will say are worthy of it or receive it. And sending nothingness to the ones that's on here trolling and being toxic. I'm just saying. All right, y'all. Love you. Bye.